Hello and welcome back to Void Dreaming. We will be continuing where we left off, which, if you recall, is after the whole little discussion with Anwell about what they kind of want to do and what they kind of wanted Rail to do for them, which is to convince Zuberi to allow them to, I guess, take the ship to wherever it is that Anwell kind of wants to, I guess, investigate, because he thinks that it might exonerate himself and his sister. But short of stealing the ship, that's probably not going to happen because we're not going to do that. And thankfully Zuberi's like, yeah, we ain't doing that. I believe there was also the whole little thing where you were being introduced to Anwell and like his circumstances of how he got to where he, got. How he had to like buy the ship or something like that, or I don't know, something. I'm pretty sure that it was a lie. I don't really like him. Or trust him. Trust him. But yeah, pretty much. If you guys saw that video that I recorded, it's like, yeah, you really don't like the guy, do you? I do not. I just do not trust him, and I kind of feel that it is trouble having him on board. Before that though, I believe Zuberi offered to take us to like a D&D type thing, and I believe that is what we will be doing today. So you have that to look forward to. What else? What else of any real pertinence happened? I believe, we were being tracked or something by a pirate scout ship, and we were able to, I say we, but like it's the characters in the story, were able to hide away in a ice ball, and thankfully they weren't found, but it does show us that there is a real threat with having Anwell on board, and there really is somebody looking for him. So there is real danger with having him on board and not really knowing what is real, because he is still lying. We know a little bit more about what happened on the ship based on what Rail was able to discover. And even though they're not really telling the crew about this information, it's sort of like, hey, so we kind of know that you're lying, so we have we're not really inclined to trust you on what you're saying. So like, yeah, Anyway, so yeah. That's basically what happened, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, let's go for the D&D thing. I'm not sure if it starts immediately, but like I'm pretty sure we have a shift first on the bridge and then the D&D thing. Anyway, so yeah. Is it supposed to say like chapter 4? Or day 4? You've never liked mornings. Nights, those are good, full of activity, full of rest, full of good times. Bad times too, mostly good. The end of work with your parents and watching the skip racer practice. Attending serendipitous parties in various dorms and averses, and experimenting with whatever the students were cooking up that day. And the long nights where you worked yourself to the point of passing out at your data term, desperately trying to find a fault in your code so that no one else would die because of you. You sigh and roll onto your back, opening your eyes to stare at the top of your sleep pad's alcove. Bad times too, but still mostly good. Despite everything, mostly good. It's the mostly that gets you though. Every life you reason is a mixture. The good and the bad, the fun and the boring, the love and the hate. But last night you had the dream again. The same damn dream, and for the first time since you've been on the ship. You don't know if it's the pirate threat or Anwell's presence, or that you're kilolites from anywhere resembling home, but it was back again. The one where you're back with your soft crew, hearing about the contracts that you've taken and the ice slick projects that you've got on the desk, how proud they are all of you for the AG contract. You get the comm then from the AG, glowing reviews, stellar performance, The Blue Dawn's tour was the fastest and most efficient ever. They're appending a bonus for exemplary work and want to keep you on retainer, but you refuse. Your work is done, and you can't wait to dive into another bigger challenge. You're grinning. And it's disgusting. You sigh as you swing your legs up and off the edge of your sleep pad, paws grip at your thighs as you squeeze your eyes closed. It's disgusting, and not because it's not real. It's disgusting because you wish it were. It was going to go that way. It had to, because you were perfectly sure. Everything looked right. Everything was great. Everything was perfect. It should have been perfect. Why couldn't it just be perfect? Because it wasn't perfect. Your crew didn't greet you with the stories of Mad Ice Soft. They warned you that the AG were calling, that it all got wrong, and then there was no bonus when the AG called. The reality bites back because you didn't just make a mistake. You didn't just miss a variable or forget to close a string of code. The skills that you were most proud of hurt people, killed them. And you hated all the more because in the dream, you were happy. You were so damn happy, and that's so damn wrong, and it knocked your stomach so hard that you almost taste the bile rising up your throat. If the dream were the reality, you wouldn't feel so broken. You squeeze your eyes shut tighter. You almost miss the tears rolling down your cheeks. You didn't even know that you were crying. A ragged breath rolls out of your muzzle as you swipe across your eyes with the back of your paw. The fur comes away damp. Burn it all. It's been, what is it now, 5 days since you had that dream last? 5 days. The longest stretch yet. Long enough for you to actually start to wonder. To think maybe yes, finally, you're moving past it. Not that you've ever really or fully passed it, but maybe that you'll be able to find something in it. Be at peace. How can you feel at peace with it all is still beyond you, especially since you're here to stop it from happening again. You're already sacrificing time getting to know the crew to try and get there. No doubt any of them can understand how badly you need this to work. You take a deep breath and hold it in for a moment to try and steady yourself. You let your eyes slowly open again before you exhale. Despite the full night's rest, you feel exhausted. Damn dreams. You stand and stretch. Muscles tingle, joints pop, and you sigh as you relax into your stance. A glance around reveals your reader right where you left it, and you pick it up and flick it on. First shift still going. No wonder you're tired. You're up earlier than usual. Briefly, you glance down at your sleep pad. It calls to you, a siren song that invites you to lay down again. No more dreams this time, I promise. Yeah, right. You're not falling for it this time. You turn away and instead head to the refresher. You relieve yourself, clean up a little, and then head back into your room to dress. No point in staying here, you figure. You dress slowly, owing partly to your tired state of mind and partly to a lack of any impetus to hurry. It is a nice change, actually. You've kind of pushed yourself hard the last couple of days to be ready. Once in your uniform, you barely wait before you start to make your way over to the door. There is a click from above before you can open it, though. Everything all right, Stray? Just a little rough night, Oba. Mind if I go get something to eat? Not at all, Stray. Have a good shift, and don't stay out too late. Given the night that I just had and how things have gone lately, I'll probably be back sooner rather than later. The door slides open for you, and you nod to the ceiling one last time before you step outside. As it closes behind you again, you give your arms another stretch over your head before you make your way over to the commissary door. It's already open. Maybe Oba did that for you. As promised, the commissary is empty at that moment. Not a single other crew member is present. So much the better. You head over to the replicator and bring the system online. The usual array of options are present to you, but the display is full of new options and functionality that wasn't there before. This is probably all the stuff that you helped Bromka sort out yesterday. If it wasn't for your careful intervention, the replicator might not even be working right now. As you're scrolling through the options, you hear the sound of mag boots on the deck. You look up. It's Bromka, and the bear blinks as he notices you behind the replicator. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know anyone was here. No, you're fine. Nothing to worry about. I'm just surprised. You're not usually up this early. Your chuckle is uneasy as you shrug and wave the bear over. Just a rough night. They happen. Bromka nods as he looks to the replicator. What are you trying to make? At the moment, just marveling at all the new changes to the system. Your update's taken pretty well. The bear grins wide as he makes his way over. I'm glad to hear it, and it would never have taken at all without your assistance. Thank you again. You're welcome again. And hey, my reward's your cooking, so I win either way. A great way to look at it. You smile as you step back to give Bromka some room. Have something that you wanted to make? I don't mind deferring to your experience. Oh, you're too kind. If you like, I could find us both something delightful to start our day. That sounds wonderful to me. And to me as well. The bear begins to tap at the console, scrolling through the various food options programmed into the replicator. He doesn't stop until he reaches something that makes his eyes light up. Ah, here. This would do nicely, I think. Kavaran, winterberry yogurt, scrumful toast, and stimcaf. He smiles wider at that last as he glances your way. I think we could both use it today. I think you're right, and that all sounds good. The bear nods as he keys in the command, and the replicator and cooker hum to life. So then, let me ask not as cook or helmmaster, or even as a friend, but as your doctor. What has you up so early? You suspected that he was about to ask, and you shake your head before the words can even leave your muzzle. Nothing worth getting into, Brom. Trust me. If your sleep is affected by it, then I promise that it's very worth looking into. And I would know. I know you would. But it's nothing new. Really, it's fine. He frowns at you, but nods along anyway. It's nice that he won't push the issue, but you can tell from his uneasy stare that he's not buying that it's fine at all. I won't ask then. Just know that you can talk to me, if you would like to. I'm glad I can, Brom. Really, thank you. You are very welcome. The replicator pings for attention as the food creation cycle is completed. You step back to give Bromka some more room, and he pops open the door to the replicator to retrieve the foodstuffs within. Bowls of yogurt rest atop plates ringed with the toast, and the mugs of stimcaf steamed in the completely cooler air of the ship. You take some of the items off Bromka to help carry them to the table. As you both set everything down, he sighs. I'm sorry. It's just very unlike you to be up so much earlier than you need to be. In my defense, you've only had one day on shift with me. You are not wrong, I suppose. But it's unusual, and that's worthy of note. Are you sure nothing is bothering you? It's just some dreams, Brom. Really, it's fine. I'm fine. I'll get a good night's sleep tonight and... Oh wait, no, I'm on first shift tomorrow. Maybe I won't. Or maybe Zuberi will stretch third out a bit more, give me a chance to get a nap in. Even Bromka's shaking his head. He pouts as he pokes at his calf mug. It's a shame. I've really enjoyed having you on my shift. I hope you get a chance to take that rest though. It does sound like you will need it. His eyes go wide as you start working at your breakfast. Oh no, if you need to sleep then you're not going to be able to join us for game night. Oh right, you'd almost forgotten about that with everything going on. No, don't worry about that, Brom. I said that I'd be there, and I'll be there. I'll just be tired tomorrow. I can deal with that. The bear smiles, but he still looks worried. I can't ask you to do that. You're not asking, I'm doing. I made a promise, and I intend to keep it. Now Brom's just smiling unabashedly. If you could power your body just on its joy, you think that you could probably handle all the work shifts at once, all by yourself. The rest of the breakfast passes by much more quietly, as your muzzles are put to much better use, eating. The meal is as amazing as Bramka promised, which definitely doesn't hurt. And the stim cav is exactly what you needed to kick your body and your brain into gear for the day ahead of you. Your thoughts are buzzing as you and Bramka clean up and make to leave. There is no sign of any other crew as you step out into the corridor with Bramka and head for the bridge. Maybe Kalia's already inside. You certainly haven't seen Zuberi or Miz. A quick look at your reader shows that you're still a little early, but that second shift is due to start immediately. Maybe something happened? You pause before the door, but it remains stubbornly closed. Oba? Stand by, Stray. The captain's just talking to Kalia. You can only wonder what they're talking about. Whatever is being said, though, it's clearly already winding down. No sooner do you start wondering than the door clicks. It opens a moment later, and you and Bramka step aside. Most of the crew is there, it seems. Zuberi's in the command chair, with Kalia standing besides. Ms. Paul rests in his lap, sits at his sensor station as he watches Zuberi and Kalia. Tolmany is still plugged into her interface chair at nav. Only Sam and Anwar are missing, and the latter isn't even crew. It's almost the busiest the bridge has been since you've been aboard. Only Miz looks over at the pair of you as you enter. His eyes flick to you with a smile and a nod before his gaze returns to Zuberi and Kalia. You follow his gaze back to the captain as Zuberi shakes his head. No. I said it before and I'll say it 100 times more if I have to. We stay the course. You can say it 1,000 more damn times. It doesn't change how stupid this is. It's not your call, Cal. It's mine. Deal with it, or you can get off at K2R with Anwell. You wouldn't fucking dare. Try me. What in the world did you walk in on? You glance over at Bramka, but the bear's eyes are wide as they're focused on the pair. Maybe this is as unusual for him as it is for you. The notion isn't comforting. You should give the crew a say. My ship, my decision. They can go if they want to. Kalia's eyes roam the bridge, and for the first time she seems to notice you and Bramka are present. Her gaze softens slightly as it brushes over you and the bear, but it sharpens right up again when she locks eyes on Zuberi once more. You're putting us all in danger. We're in danger anyway. And you refuse to minimize that danger. Zuberi's ears pin back and the wolf slowly rises from his chair. He holds Kalia's stare the whole way, despite the muscular vixen standing a head taller than him. Do it then, if you think that it's the right course of action. Go down to his room right now and shoot him. That's not... I'm not finished. The wolf's voice is cold, razor sharp, and so quiet that you can barely hear it from where you stand. Take your gun, go shoot him. Put his body on ice so that when the next pirates come by looking for him, you can toss them his corpse. Go do it right now, if you really think that's what's gonna help. You've got my permission. Go have fun. Kalia is furious. And she is silent. And perhaps most importantly, she is still. Zuberi holds her stare all the while, watching her with an intensity that you've not seen from him yet. That's not what I'm suggesting. No, because you talk big about wanting to pull the trigger, but you won't. Because somewhere down in there, you know that it's not going to change the star's damn thing up, except for adding a new stain on your conscience. He reaches up to jab a clawed tip in the center of her chest. So do us both a favor. Come to me with a real solution to the problem, and come to me in private if you want to tear me down or shut your fucking muzzle. Kalia looks about ready to explode. Now, are you running your shift, or are you dusting the fuck off my bridge? Silence again. From the way that the vixen's trembling and her paws are clenched, she's trying very hard not to punch Zuberi right now. Don't you ever speak to me like that again. Zuberi doesn't react, even as she leans in against that prodding finger. He just stares, thumb hooked onto his belt and jaw clenched. He doesn't even look the least bit intimidated by Kalia's display, and she knows it. You wouldn't dare if Malekith... Don't. The wolf's paws curl instantly into fists. There is a new fire in his eyes that wasn't there before. No longer cool, calm, and in control. You see a fury in his stare and hear ice in his voice. But Kalia's calm. By contrast, the fire's left her. She looks bitter, petulant, yes, but it's like she'd just pulled her on her biggest weapon and it backfired, hard. If you were on the receiving end of Zuberi's rage, maybe you look the same. Too far, Kalia. Don't. I won't. I know. I'm sorry. I know. The vixen sags. You catch Miz's eye, but the cheetah gives a tiny shake of his head. Whatever's going on, even he's not sure. What you're sure about is that Kalia knows how far she's overstepped. I'll run shift. I know. Her hackles bristle, but she nods and drops her gaze to the floor. She keeps her eyes off Zuberi as the wolf rises from his command chair and makes for the bridge door. He looks up to nod at the pair of you. You and Bronca both return the gesture as you hold your breath. You're not sure everything's just finished yet. But then he passes you and heads down the corridor. You watch him go for a moment before Kalia's voice snaps your attention back. Finish up your current task, Ms. Rail can pick up for you. Yes, ma'am. We're almost clear until the next system. Even Miz's voice is subdued as you watch the cheetah turn back to his console and begin closing out of his systems. Good. Brom, confirm heading. Rail. She pauses as Bromka nods back to her and makes his way over to his console. He still looks more than a little put off by what you've all just witnessed. You sure can't blame him. You're just on edge as he looks. I heard you spoke to Annwell yesterday. Yes, ma'am. You're not going to give her a reason to get as angry at you as she was with Zuberi. And right now you can tell that she's already more beaten up than she's used to. Everyone else is in full work mode. You're not going to stand out. Did he say anything about where he wanted to go? It is a lot easier to be honest with her given you're still not sure about the Martin yourself. He did. When was this? Right after his introduction yesterday. I'm not convinced that it's in our best interest. I see. She works her jaw for a moment as she waves you closer. As she does so, Miz closes out of his console and stands to leave. Ma'am. You're dismissed. Thank you. He nods to her and starts off towards the bridge door. You do hear that once he passes you by, his footsteps increase in pace as he hurries away. Anything else that I should know? Anything Zuberi might not have mentioned to me? You hesitate again. Anything more further could justify her wanting to shoot Annwell, and you're not sure that he deserves that. I don't know, maybe some target practice would help her calm down? But right now, you think any intent to shoot anyone has been shifted by her argument with the captain. Annwell's probably safe for the moment. You biting your tongue won't be. He did try to seduce me. She perks an ear but otherwise doesn't respond. Or, less a seduction and more of him offering thanks. Offering himself as thanks. For saving him before his ship blew? Something like that, yeah. You let him. You glance up at the bear seated at the helm. There is no real response from him to the question. He's definitely heard it, and you're curious as to what he makes of it, given your own interests, but he's not engaging at all. You clear your throat as you brush down the front of your uniform. No, I'd feel too much like it was just using him, even if he was into it. You flick your eyes towards Bromka again. As far as you can tell, he's not even paying attention, probably for the best. Kalia, for her part, nods along. All right, good enough for me. Kalia then waves you towards the weapons console. Over there. You blink as you look back at the vixen. Is she serious? Is this a joke? The weapon station, ma'am? Don't make me tell you a second time. Yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. You hurry over the way immediately and sit down in the chair. Bromka's even turned around with surprise, looking between the two of you. Clearly, this is new to him as well. We may need to make sure that you're able to defend the ship if everything goes to shift. That means that we need another person who can handle the weapons console in case something happens to me. Why not Sam? In a combat situation, Sam will be too busy running damage control and keeping us functional. You don't want to pull them away from that, trust me. I aim to train you on it this shift while we do our rounds, unless you've got something against shooting down other ships. Which... Kalia's eyes narrow the moment that Bromka opens his muzzle, but you can't blame him for silencing himself after what happened earlier. Which is to say, if you're comfortable with it. I don't think Kalia intends to make you kill people if you, can't. Or won't. She grits her teeth, but nods. It is your choice. If you get trained on this, I expect you to step up with all that means. Sure, why not? If it is to protect yourself, the crew, and the ship, you'll do whatever you have to. I can do it. You're sure? You've done something like this before? You swallow hard and shake your head. No, but, if the situation comes up, it's probably better that I know how to defend myself and the ship. So you're sure? You hesitate before answering again. I'm sure. Good. I'm glad to hear it. She shoots Bromka an absolutely venomous side-eye, and he turns immediately back to his console again. There should be a training program that I've loaded into the system for you. Run it and we'll get started. You locate the training program and nod as you select it. Your display shifts to reveal a detailed rundown of a vast array of weapons systems. Brom, do you have the heading? We've got time. 15 minutes to optimal jump point, then an hour of warp space before we arrive. More than enough. Thank you. Rel, you've got the program? I've got a technical manual by the looks of it. The vixen smirks, but there is little joy in the expression. She's clearly still feeling her confrontation with Zuberi. Which, as you realize that, brings to mind a whole other problem. May I ask a question? You better. If you just sit there silently, I'd expect that you're not learned a damn thing. Zuberi cleared me for this, right? She rolls her eyes. He wouldn't need to clear you for it. My shift, my rules. You doubt that he'd see it that way. But, if you need to know, yes, he did. If he didn't, I doubt Oba would let the system run. It's like she knows me. The vixen growls and pointedly ignores the simulant. This'll be your first look at our armaments. There is a good reason why we don't just tell people what we have. So no one can know your capabilities before you engage them? Actually, it's because most of it is illegal. You frown, but Kalia's wearing a thin smile. Illegal. Only most of it. Some of it is very illegal. And the AG are alright with this? They don't know. And they're not going to. You hold up your paws and shake your head. I'm not gonna be the one to tell them, promise. Good. I'd hate to have to shoot you after going to all this trouble. You nod and steel yourself as you look back down at the console. There is a lot there. Where do you want to start? You consider the options in front of you. Let's start with the main weapons array. The ship's primary weapon is a standout. We may as well start with the big gun. A big gun is right. That right there is a Voridae interstellar mil-spec grade plasma cannon array modified for plasma beam capability. Effective range is 10 clicks before the beam loses containment. You whistle to yourself as the schematics run across your screen. For a ship this size, I wouldn't have imagined that you'd be able to fit a plasma cannon like this. To say nothing of the range. Kalia shrugs. You'd normally be right. The problem's plasma beam containment. But we've got the displacement system integrated into the plasma cannon's mag tube. We use it to generate an effective stream that lets us maintain MagCon all the way to target. Your ears perk immediately. And because there is a constant electromag link to the mag tube, you can extrude the field along the effective stream, maintain beam coherency. Kalia's eyebrows lift, but a smile tugs at the corner of her muzzle. Look at you, knowing what you're talking about. You're absolutely right. It also means that unlike a standard plasma bolt, our array can sustain the beams for a protracted period and at extended range. As long as we stay lined up with the target, not a lot can withstand it. It's still fixed mounted though, so quicker targets require alternate solutions. How long can the beam be maintained? 2 seconds, give or take. That's insane. The power requirement alone would be enormous. We manage. And this is the illegal part of the weapon system? By far the most illegal. If a Galspec patrol caught up to us, they wouldn't ask us to stand down. We technically count as a warship for having that kitten purring away down below. And she doesn't mean Ms. I said purring, not gagging. I'm not sure he knows the meaning of that word. You choke off a laugh and Kalia does much the same. Seriously though, if they saw it, the Galsec or the ASF would shoot first, ask questions never. But it doesn't register on scans as long as it's powered down, and we don't get into surprise fights all that often. If we know a fight is coming, we deploy it and prep for combat. If we don't know a fight's coming, we've got bigger problems. How long does it take to deploy? 20 seconds or so, give or take. With our shields powered up, we can take a lot of punishment before we break. Never been a time that I've been aboard where there's been too much fight to prevent deployment. She pauses and frowns, deep. Not to say that it hasn't happened, but that was before the plasma array was installed. Anyway, targeting is linear. Brahm lights up the shot, whoever's sitting right there fires. Sounds simple enough. We aim to please. Brahm sounds like the one who's aiming to please. There is an embarrassed gasp from the bear at the helm as Kalia smirks. What's next? The turret system. There is far more turrets aboard this ship than you'd expected, according to the specifications in front of you. What about those turrets? The vixen flashes a thin smile as she nods to herself. Coruscant Combined Arms manufactured particle bolt turrets. Hemispherical range of motion for 180 degrees of targeted potential. 6 emitters each and 10 turrets in total. 2 each are mounted nose, starboard, port, ventricle, and dorsal. Targeting acquisition is automatic, but fire authority is by console command. It's more target designation than actual shooting, but keeping up with 10 different turrets isn't as easy as it sounds. Doesn't sound easy at all, actually. Good, because you're going to want practice if you expect to get good with them. What do I need to know? Refire is a factor of modular charge. Higher charge means faster fire cycles, 6 round bursts per cycle, per turret. Tricks knowing what you're shooting at, so you know what you need. Gunships should go down without a fuss without too much charge, but if that frigate of Anwell's comes looking, you'll want to dial it up. Or bring the plasma array to bear. Or that'd fucking do it. Anything small though, these are the way to go, equal size as well. There are general purpose shipwreckers. They're also the only system that'll let you take manual control. How many can you manually control at a time? 2 turrets per console with unique tracking and target acquisition. You shouldn't need to do that, but it's good to know how it works in case the automatic targeting systems fail. Does that happen often? Not if Sam's keeping up with our work. Seriously, it's almost not worth worrying about. I just bring it up because I want you competent on everything. Sounds reasonable. Good. That's the turret systems. What's next? Kinetic barriers. You're definitely not used to seeing kinetic weapons on a starship these days, and definitely not on an exploratory vessel. Okay, what's the deal with those kinetic platforms? You watch as the displays shift to highlight the kinetic weapons. Twin Tetra-Tech repeater mag cans on gimbals, retractable starboard and portside ventral mounts, 90-degree field of fire, fire rate of 10,000 rounds per minute. You whistle long and low. That's damn impressive. Appreciate it, but it's actually not. SM-6 mag cannons are rated up to 50,000 rounds per minute. Sam and I dialed them down to a fifth of capacity. We've got the ammunitions fabs aboard for it, but we just don't have the space to feed the cannons. You nod to yourself. That makes a lot of sense. The ammunition has to be stored somewhere when it's not being launched at targets. Their primary use is for anti-drone and anti-starfighter work. Never seen a single starfighter analog that's equipped with force shields. Deflectors don't deflect a star's damn thing with mass traveling that fast. They're also pretty good at anti-missile duties, but that needs us to point roughly in their direction. Our shield can't handle missiles? Our shields can handle just about anything, missiles included. Well, she's definitely confident. But like I said, the primary use is anti-drone and anti-fighter work. Neither really pack anything on board to let them deal with mag cannons. We just ignore the shields and rip the hull, leaving the turrets for more intermediate-sized threats. Exactly right. And the plasma cannon array for the big ones. You got it. A weapon for every threat. That's the name of the game, and these mag cannons pull pretty important duty. What about restocking? She snorts. Unlike the other systems, we can't just soak up tax and convert it into weapon charge. If we're running low, then Zuberi will bring us into his asteroid field. We've got a clamp and a small mining laser. We can scoop up a lot of dust and harvest base metals for the fab. His whole thing was to take the Exo-10-2 and make it a fully independent ship, totally self-sufficient. This is just another way he did it. Her tone is a little more bitter than you expected. Maybe she's still sore about earlier, even now. Sounds like he did a good job with it. Yeah, well, he had good reason. Any questions on that? On anything? No, actually. I think I'm good. Your console pings for attention, and you look back down it as the schematics and technical data fade away. In their place, a series of training simulations listed one after the other and organized by weapon type and difficulty of the test. There was a lot of them. And you just put this together for me? Of course not. I've had these ready to go for any crew who needs to learn the weapon system. Oh, how many have there been? The vixen is silent and you turn towards her. Her expression is tight. You're the first, Rail. Wait, seriously? It's necessity, not my want. Annuel's presented some serious problems for us. I need to make sure that this ship is combat ready as soon as possible. That includes redundancies on who can handle weapons in case I'm out of commission. She means that it includes redundancies. Redundancies? Redundancies. Both of you can shut the fuck up. You smirk as Bronco laughs to himself. Kayla just rolls her eyes. I don't need cubs on my bridge. Just focus up or get the fuck out of here. Sorry, ma'am. Apologies. The vixen shakes her head. You're definitely not helping her mood like this. You got any experience with systems like this, Rail? Not really. Even growing up the way you did? Hey, we ran passenger shuttles. We never had a real need to look into military training simulations. Well, this is the real deal. Actual training sims from the ASF, adjusted for our systems. And how did you get this in the first place? An Authority Intelligence Bureau agent owed me a favor. You blink. What kind of favor warrants an AIB agent stealing MilSim training soft for you? The kind where that doesn't even pay me back by anywhere near half. Now focus. Yes, ma'am. You watch as the system scrolls through all the different training sims without your input. Each of the sims represents a combat scenario, tailored to the sort of encounters that we get into out here, also tailored to the theoretical situations our hardware is rated for. We don't exactly have star cruisers dropping out of warp space in front of us and opening up without warning, but we've got a plasma array that can trade blows so. She shrugs and nods to the console. The scenarios aren't long. They should roughly take as long as a real fight usually would. I expect you to get through them, all before we arrive in the next system. You frown as you scroll back down the list again from the top. There's dozens of training scenarios in here. Guess you'd better get started then. As you look up, you catch a hint of Bronca's smile, but he's focused on the helm. As you drop your attention back to the console, you do just as the Vixen asks. There is a lot to get to, and you're not about to let it get away from you. You're able to make your way through a few of the easier, shorter training sims before the hyperlaunch. They're definitely not too complex, and whatever system has been integrated into the Dreamer's weapons console is both robust and easy to use. It makes sense, of course, since it was designed to be utilized by ASF personnel, functional and simple as the order of the day, from what you hear. Once the ship's cruising in warp space, you start to delve into the more complex simulations. That's where the difficulty starts to seriously increase. Not so high as to make it impossible, of course, but the concepts and circumstances introduced in each of the simulations definitely require more of you than the others. Ambushes, difficult maneuvering conditions, and even the Star Cruiser scenario Kalia suggested makes an appearance. You feel like you make a good account of yourself. Learning the Dreamer's armament has definitely helped, combined with your existing skills to give you a solid result. The scenarios are varied and interesting. You handle them as best as you can with Kalia watching your progress from the command chair. Your score ratings for each engagement looks respectable. Eventually you reach your limit, of course. The later scenarios are utterly beyond you, and some others push you past what you think you can handle. All in all though, the Vixen seems to be relatively pleased with your project. So are you. After all, it's practice in a new system. You're going to need that if you're going to help defend the ship when the time comes. By the time that you arrive at the next system, Kalia's got what she wanted from you. She has an idea of your skills and abilities and tells you to get back to your sensor duties. Not, however, before telling you that she thought that you'd do a lot worse than you did. You allow yourself a little smugness as she admits that you might yet be useful on the console in a pinch. The smugness doesn't exactly fade away as you start your sensor work. Fortunately, the sensor duties you're assigned to for the shift are as much of a relief as they are engaging. The first system is massive, and over the hours that follow, there's almost always something to do. It might not be as intensive as a weapons console training, but you settle into the routine well enough. It keeps your mind occupied, at least. Sam arrives eventually, bearing food. They seem interested once they learn that you've been put through Kalia's weapons training sims. Talmany is roused from her interface chair around this point as well, and the otter even partakes on some of the food that Sam's brought up. She does engage in conversation for a brief time before she leaves the bridge, bound for a short period of rest. Sam briefly works on her interface chair once she's out of it. When food's been taken care of, you all return to your standard duties while Sam heads back to engineering. The shift winds up proceeding in much more boring fashion after that. When at last Kalia stands up from the command chair, you check the time. The shift is just about over. She turns to you, arms folded. You finished up those last scans? Yeah, both moons turned up nothing of interest. Looks like we're clear for the system. She nods, glancing out towards the stars. And a day closer to getting the Martin off our ship. We keep making good time like this, and I think that it'll be by tomorrow. You're really that against him? I'm really that against him. Maybe if you got to know him some, you... No thanks. Bronca's shoulders droop as he shakes his head. The bear turns back to his console and taps a couple of commands in. Headings laid in. Mind if I head out now? Why would... Oh, your game night. Right. You watch as Bronca laughs, nodding vigorously. You know you're always welcome to come join us. Never gonna happen, especially today. Some of the mirth vanishes from Bronca's face at that, and he nods more solemnly. Before he can even say a word, Kalia turns towards you. You did well enough on the consoles today. I'm not mind seeing what you can do with something a bit smaller. If you're not into this whole game night waste of time... It's not a waste of time. She rolls her eyes. It is for me. And if it is for Rail too, I want him to have options. What option's that? You and me, cargo bay, right after this. I do live fire training down there. You're welcome to join me if you want. You blink. You didn't know the Vixen trusted you that much. Why? Fuck do you mean why? It's for the same reason that I offered you the weapon system training, dangerous times. I need to know that I can count on you to help defend the ship and its crew. You don't like thinking about such a thing, but you nod almost by reflex. Appreciate the offer. You better. Her ears flatten as Bronca sighs. You could stand to rest and relax a little bit yourself, Kalia. I have training. Someone's gotta keep you pacifist safe. Bronca hangs his head, shaking it slowly before looking up at you again. What about you, Rail? You still coming, right? Of course, Bronca. How could I say no to you? Bronca's face lights up again, and you smile as he laughs once more. He looks glad Kalia hasn't convinced you to bail on him. Even though you need to sleep? Sleep's overrated. Besides, I don't feel tired. I'd love to join you. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Come, we have much to prepare for you. Kalia rolls her eyes as she leans over the command console and begins to tap at the controls. You two have fun. Somehow, I guess. We will, as you would, if you stooped low enough to join us. Her voice turns flat as she pointedly ignores the bear. Uh-huh. Come, Rail, away from such over-serious people. Fun and adventure awaits. Fun and adventure sounds good. It's impossible not to be enthused with the bear's excitement. And that's where I'm going to leave it for today. So we finally got acquainted with the ship's weapon systems thanks to Kalia, who it seems to maybe not exactly be trusting Rail, but feels compelled to teach him as the only other member of the crew who doesn't really have an assigned post yet, how to basically defend the ship in case something were to happen to her, because if I recall correctly, that is her job. It's her job to keep everyone safe and the ship, and considering the fact that Zuberi seems to be playing fast and loose with the safety of the crew and his ship, despite the fact that he seems to think that he is keeping everything in mind, etc., it kind of seems like he's just sort of flying by the seat of his pants. Well, maybe no. That's a wrong analogy. He's sort of winging it, I think. Maybe not entirely, but it kind of seems like it's a little questionable the things he's doing. Keeping Anne well, not really trying to find a solution to the whole thing now that he knows that there are pirates looking for him. And it's like, well, we'll just keep going. But like, come on, dude. Find a quicker way to drop the guy off, please. And I know, yeah, like if you drop him off, Rail will be in trouble, but like, this would be extenuating circumstances because we found this guy in the middle of space in a ship that would not be able to return home, and he appears to be being followed by pirates. And like, yeah, I have this other guy on board who is in big trouble, and but like it's not his fault, and we kind of just want to drop this guy off so that we can go and continue our job. Like, you know, again, not Rail's fault, but like, you know, and I can see it from Kalia's point of view, and it's not just me who despises Anwell. Well, maybe not despises, but I do want to get rid of him as quick as possible, because I just do not like him. But, I guess that's the same as despise. I don't know. You know what? Yeah, I don't want him on the ship. So again, yeah, I can see it from her point of view, and again, Rail being the only one that doesn't have any job technically on the ship, it makes sense to put him on the weapons, just in case something were to happen to her. Because again, everyone already has their assigned job, and you can't really shift one of them to weapons in case something happens to her, and you know, it's plot relevant for him to learn how to use the weapons. What else? Well, yeah, we're about to join Bromka, Zuberi, Miz, and Tolmany in their little game night, which Kalia is basically like, ugh, just a waste of time. But yeah, this should be fun, hopefully. I mean, I already know that it is fun, but like, you know, I have to pretend that I don't know yet. Anyways, yeah, so you guys have that to look forward to. Anyways, so what do you think now? Did you know, are you looking forward to the game night or whatever? Write it down in the comments, and thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Void Dreaming yourself, you can do so by going down into the link in the description, which should have a direct link for the itch.io page where you can download and play the game yourself. If you'd like to support the project, you can join their Patreon, which gives you earlier access to builds of Void Dreaming, and they have some other stuff there, I forget what it is. If you would like to support the channel, you can become a channel member, and it gives you earlier access to the videos that are being scheduled, and that's usually with a 1 or 2 weeks in advance, so like, you know, help support me, help support the channel. You give me money on a monthly basis, I give you videos on an earlier basis, and if you can't do that, there is Ko-fi, and there is also a throne, you know, if you're feeling overly generous. You know, 'tis the season. It's December probably, right about now, when I'm recording these and when these are going to come out, you know. I have a wish list. Just kidding. You do not feel compelled to, you know, buy me anything or whatever. Anywho. Anyway, so I guess that's for now, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.